Yeah, we're going live. Yep. Alert the media. All right. Yep. Well, welcome back to the Hotel Orloff, where the key to your future awaits here at the front desk. Welcome back to historic Rural Retreat, Virginia, and do a quick live show and all that stuff. So, got everything written down. That's right. Today, we're going to be looking at some run fillers and some key issues that were obtained off the rack, OTR, and at the local LCS. So, welcome to my PC, my personal collection, which I will show to you through the wonders of my PC personal computer. Wait a second, I can't find the page in my book. Oh, here we go. So, today we're going to pull the trigger and look at some grails and some mega grails that present well. Raw comics, 9.8 conditions, some of them with only 3 on the census. So it's going to be a very comic book centric episode here going forward as we look at these iconic tropes. So we'll be looking at some Matt Baker art and having some paradigm shifts in our thinking, yes, and looking at different iterations and things that are derivative. And we're going to have hot book alerts, and we're going to talk about what we're specking on here in this existential threat to our democracy. But especially lots of Matt Baker art, lots of that this afternoon. So, how are you guys doing in this? I ran out of hours on whatever the blue thing is. Is that Explorer? So I'm now over here at Firefox Godzilla, where I have a different StreamYard account. So I have 20 more hours. And then the other one will give me 20 hours again on March 16th, which is apparently this Saturday. So how are you guys doing? Members of the comic book community. Yeah. Yeah, I'm uploading an episode right now that I filmed this afternoon, and it's New Comic Book Day. Have you guys all obtained wonderful comics? I'm sure you have. Apparently, they're doing facsimiles now of Treasury editions. I didn't know that. I was just informed of that. Isn't that amazing? Okay, well, we got a. What does the pay StreamYards cost to Gratu? What does it cost to buy? Oh, the pay StreamYard. Man, I don't know. $25 a month. But you get little extra features, and you can change this duck to something else. You can have more people on at once, but I don't know enough people for that to even really matter. How about that? Oh, this is padding. Okay. Getting ready for the 4-color fossil show this evening. So I've got to get my microphone ready. Omega Dread says, doing good from South Texas. And Justin says, thanks. I've got to clear off some space here, some modern wacky packages. Oh, I know what these are. This is Christmas 2020. This must be a music compilation I put together a while back. These are home movies. Clear off this desk over here so I can set up my computer on it. Right now, my computer's on top of some milk crates, and I need those milk crates for another project I'm doing downstairs. There's a new Mego Frankenstein. Hey, Marie. I'm a little bit country. I'm a little bit rock and roll. I'm a little bit of Memphis, Nashville. Got a little bit of Motown in my soul. Don't know if it's better, cause I know I love it so. I'm a little bit country. And we're a little bit rock and roll. This is the actual Donnie puppet that was used on the Hypnotic Eye television program back in the 1990s, ladies and gentlemen. Look. I'm a little bit country. I'm a little bit rock and roll. Oh, Paulo Costa is here. Hello.
Here I am. Hello.
What's up?
What's up? I saw you had some teen sensations of the 1970s.
Oh yeah. What are you presenting tonight?
I don't know yet.
Don't you have to prepare a slideshow?
Yeah. Still have to see what I'm gonna do. I'd like to get some more Italian and German stuff, but that's not as easy as getting French stuff.
What about satanic? That's Italian, right?
Satanic is Italian, yeah.
Is that considered garbage? Not highbrow?
Well, a lot of those things are imitations of Diabolic. So
right.
They kind of do the same thing. It's just that some of them do have interesting costumes, like Criminal. But yeah, they ended up pretty much being the same. So they just dial the sex and violence up and it becomes a predictable cheap knockoff.
Yeah, I was just looking at some of those a minute ago. I was just filming an episode, and then I thought I was charging the phone, but it wasn't plugged in, and so it just died before I could finish the show. So I decided I'd go live, trying to clean up around here. Ugh. So is is it diabolic or diabolic?
Let's pronounce it Italian because I'm used to it.
And,
So it's
how do they
diabolic.
pronounce it?
Diabolic. Yeah.
Diabolic. Do they still publish that?
Yeah, actually they do. You can still find. I know that they're putting out a reprint book. I don't know how often they still have new stories, because the sisters who created Diabolic, I think one of them already died, and that thing doesn't belong to any of the big publishing groups. So I don't know how long it can exist, especially because the distribution method is becoming superfluous. Even the Bonelli, which is the biggest publisher of Italian comics, they're doing stuff for the bookstores now, which allows them to focus on more specific quality, higher quality products, and they can keep it around as a perennial if it sells well. Not that they don't do that, because they do. Tex in particular has 3 different reprint titles alongside the still ongoing monthly title, and that's been pretty much the same since 1949, but people like it.
And what are you saying, Tex?
Tex, that's the name of the character.
Oh, is that a Western?
Yeah.
Oh. This is what they're talking about, shrinkflation. This is the size of bottles they're giving us now in the United States. Okay.
My dad has a neat collection of miniature bottles.
Really?
Yeah. He accumulated a bunch of those for years, and then okay, might as well start putting these up, and he bought some shelves, and they take up 3 different shelves.
How's your place coming?
No, it's done. I've been back home for 5 or 6 weeks.
Oh, okay. I saw some stream where your dad appeared. I don't know what stream that was. What's that? Howler Mouse or something? I don't know.
Yeah, I was on Howler Mouse. I was at my parents' house because we had a family lunch, and then I went to the computer, and there he was. So I did the show with Howler Mouse and Gore Vidal.
Yeah, that's a very highbrow show.
It's not a highbrow show. I still think that it's part of regular nerd conversations.
Yeah, but I mean, when you name yourself Gore Vidal,
Yeah.
Howler Mouse should just put, "I'm Norman Mailer, and you're Gore Vidal."
Yeah, I'm gonna say.
What could you be? You could be Truman Capote and just have a round.
Nah, I'd rather be Mickey Spillane.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Or I could transition and name myself Agatha Christie.
Yeah. Now I've got my computer back on the desk after many months. It was on a bunch of milk crates. That means that I've got to get this stuff organized in the back to look all nice like everyone else in the 4-color faucet.
I don't care. Well, because I don't have my books in the same room as the computer. I have the computer in the living room,
Oh,
and,
okay.
and I have a comics library, but even that is it's a bit cluttered, and I can't get to some of the shelves. I should clean up because that thing is the only room in the house that I didn't clean up because
Yeah,
I don't
but
want
we've never
I
been
don't
able to see that room. That
yeah
that would be amazing when you finally unveil that room.
yeah, but the things that are visible are the trade paperbacks. So in the collected editions, the rest since I don't bag and board, the rest is kind of piled up inside a inside a shelf. Not even in bookshelves. So
Do you have a lot of comics?
yeah, I have more floppies than I should have. I'd rather
Oh,
have everything.
I gotta write that down. Floppy. I don't have that word here. Floppy.
uh-huh.
What
Floppy.
are some other
Yeah.
words that I could use to sound intellectual? Floppy and run filler and floppy. Those are the
Run
words
filler.
that
Yeah.
degrade comic books, normal comic
Hmm.
books.
Yeah.
Um, I've got
Yes.
FOMO, Pull the Trigger, Grail, Presents Will, Comic Book Community, Raw Comics. Yeah, Raw, Run Fillers, and Floppies. Those are all degrading terms for comics. That's good.
Yeah.
9.8, Key Issue, Tech. Oh, that's real bad. Not techs, but tech when people are talking about Detective Comics, Batman, they call it tech. Ooh,
Hmm.
that's real bad. Let's see. Dr. Fibes asked, Paulo, do you have any of your collection on display in your house?
I don't have anything on display. I do have this nice.
Gratu, your thumbnail image is great. Do you know what it is from and who the artist is? Jack Cole, maybe, says the Library 88. I just pulled it from a photo
There's
folder on
a
my computer.
no.
It's
I do have a nice framed pictures of that I got for my for Christmas a few years ago, and these are cars in the streets of Havana, of Havana in Cuba.
I forgot to put spine tick.
That's fine, Tick.
Do you spell it TIC or TICK?
TK, I think.
Man, I don't know, man. I'm thinking it should be TIC. TICK
T
sounds like a bug's
T
eating the spine.
yeah, TICK. Yeah, I think that's it.
Has anyone ever written those words? So now I've got
Ah,
spine tick, floppy, spec, hot book alert, derivative, iteration, paradigm shift. I don't know why I have FYI. That just means for your information. Mega
mhm.
Grill, Matt Baker art, ultra, rabbit hole, content, kinda cool, so yeah, and trope. I got to think of more things to say.
What about perennial?
People
Perennial
use
is
that word?
for titles like Watchmen, which keep getting reprinted.
Really? Do they do that?
Yeah, so it's the comics for bookstore people.
Oh, I got to
I
put
don't think
down
that
Doug.
I don't think that's necessarily degrading because these are comics that we can sell to non-regular readers.
No, these
They
aren't
they
degrading terms. They're just terms I'm writing down to sound like
mm,
a real
like you're
comic collector. These
yeah.
are terms that people have come up with in the last 5 years that make you a
Hmm.
real
Uh-huh.
comic book
Yeah.
person. Like FOMO, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And calling Detective Comics tech, that's real bad.
Yeah.
It's like you're just coming up with new words just to be like a Scientologist or something.
Hmm.
But it's a real hobby. I have my own words. Um,
Well, I usually write Uncanny X-Men as UXM, or Marvel Team Up. I write it as MTU. And
Yeah.
Marvel 2-in-1, I read as M2IO.
Ooh, that's not good.
Flipper, yeah, flippers.
Flipper,
Why, dude?
yeah. But
I'm a flipper. Yeah, are you a
I got
dolphin?
a tech with a spine tick and couldn't get it slabbed, so it's raw and degrading daily.
So try saying that out loud and see if it sounds intelligent.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll tell you yeah, it's insanity. So you're off today?
We're still trying to find a regular job. I did
Well,
go.
you're off
I did
every
go.
day.
Yeah, I'm off every day. Yeah, just
Okay.
do a few things with. I just write some stuff for the car magazine, but it's not a permanent job, and it doesn't pay the bills.
Yeah. Is it still an actual existing magazine or is it online?
Yeah, but it's available mostly for subscribers and block sales. That means you gotta buy a whole stack of them. Uh, usually they go to car clubs and such.
It's not one of those free magazines they put out.
No, it's not free. It's not very expensive, but you have to pay for it.
Yeah.
Of course, if you do block sales, you don't really pay much per unit. It's not cover price.
Yeah.
That's an old trick that specialized publications used to do to fool advertisers, because block sales are the magazines are practically giveaway, but it counts it counts as paid circulation.
Yeah.
Because it reaches the final customer. So you can fool the advertisers that way and say, see, we're selling 20,000 when in actuality only sell 5 and sell 15.
It's like sometimes I used to get magazines in the mail and I never subscribed to them. And I think it's just so they could they have more of a circulation to fool advertisers into paying more money.
Yeah.
Or I thought maybe someone just gifted me with a free subscription, but I never got the card saying Merry Christmas or something.
No.
I don't think
And you only get a one issue or two, and then it's bait. It's trying to see if you. I got this in the mail. What is this? Oh, maybe I like this. I'll probably subscribe myself. Doesn't usually work, especially nowadays.
Yeah, I'm looking for a picture to put on my episode that I'm uploading right now. Let's see. I think this would be good. Okay, so what are you? You're not sure what you're showing tonight?
Not yet. I usually take an hour or two before the show. I go through the database websites, see what they got. Then I start following links, and then this is interesting. I can talk about this. Sometimes I found out stuff that I didn't know, which is good.
Why don't you do one just for fun where you show the worst, like Superman with a pink outfit or something from some Indian comic, or just find the worst? Or do you not like that? Because I find it hilarious.
I usually don't. I suppose I can show. I got an AOK from a friend of mine here in Portugal, and he got 2 issues from a Brazilian Hulk series when it was published by Block, and that publisher Block, they used to make everything glowy. All the colors are very bright. The Hulk is a very dark green, but the pants are a yellowish purple, and then everything around them has been colored orange, and the translation is just the worst.
Do you have those handy where you can show them?
Yeah, I can show them, and I can go look for some. I think I've shown some Block before, so I'm gonna see what I can get.
I mean, could you go get them like right now, or you mean for tonight?
Yeah, for tonight. They're close by. I can show them, and then I'll speak some more about the publisher.
Let's see, I'm being asked from Moondust, Gratu, any Ratfink stuff you have? Yeah, it's downstairs. Mega Dread says Ratfink art is awesome. Yeah, it's everywhere here. Um, yeah, that's what I'd like to collect is insane. You know, where they combine Marvel and DC superheroes on a cover, or just
Mm.
insane. The titles are wrong for what they are. You know, it's
Hmm. Yeah, I've shown some. Have I ever shown a Lone Ranger with Zorro as the title? I think I have.
maybe, but my
But
memory.
that happened in Brazil in the 50s and 60s. So there was a time in the 80s when somebody else got the rights to Zorro, and they had to advertise it as Zorro, the real one.
Uh,
Yeah, can you imagine? You buy a Zorro comic, it's the Lone Ranger on the cover and inside.
well, you'd have to be pretty dumb to really think it's a Zorro comic if you see the Lone Ranger. Well, I mean, I guess they
Yeah,
both have the similar mask.
sure, but they, they don't have the same weapons. They don't have the same sidekick. They don't fight
Uh,
the same people. It's not the same time period. It's not
yeah,
the same geographical location. Everything about it is wrong. But
yeah,
imagine, so the licensor, they have to know. But imagine growing up in that time period, reading all of these Zorro comics, and then you find out 30 years later that you've been lied to, because this is way before the internet. People didn't have a lot when people didn't even own a TV
yeah.
because it's the 50s and 60s.
What other stuff do you collect besides comics?
I don't collect. I really don't have the room. I have a bunch of miniature cars here. Well,
Are they model
actually,
kits or?
no. They're usually merchandise. They're usually gifted to us when we go on media presentations.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me get up here and see if I can show a couple of them. And
You have a lot of space on your walls that needs to be covered with
no,
monster pictures.
no, I don't.
It just
Can you
doesn't
see
look
any?
right to see
No,
white
man.
walls.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, you can see it. Can't. Okay. There's the Honda Civic. And let me see if I can show the. Oh no, I can't.
They
Yeah,
don't
this is
send
hard.
you old cars; they send you the cars they're currently in production. I assume.
Yeah, exactly. You know, this is hard doing this like this. I'm gonna take some out of the shelf and I'm gonna show it.
Okay.
All right. So
So you live in a condominium,
yeah, fifth floor.
fifth floor.
Okay, let's see here.
Sorry, I'm trying to create a show here on my phone. I'm apologizing to people why I'm constantly looking down. Um, is Gore Vidal in another? Is what country does he live in?
Texas.
He lives in Texas. Okay,
Yeah,
I just
you can
okay.
you can consider Texas a different country. The
Well,
Republic of Texas shall live again.
okay. I guess I used to know that. It's just I don't know. He's just something European about him.
Yeah. Well, when he said that when he was really young, he used to buy uh, heavy metal from the newsstand, and nobody said anything to him. So okay, so some cars here. This is an Opel Agila. These are
Uh,
cars who don't exist in the United States. It's a subcompact that was built on a Suzuki platform, a technical platform. It even has Suzuki engines, and it was smaller than a Chevrolet Sonic. Right now they don't have it anymore. It was not properly replaced. This is a Renault Laguna. It's a mid it's a mid-sized French car. This is specifically the top of the line dynamic V6. So it had a 204 horsepower V6 engine. This is a whoops. This is inside the box. This is a Volkswagen ID3, the first of a new generation of electric cars from Volkswagen. The ID3 is not for sale in the US, but the ID4 is. The ID4 is a crossover SUV, so it's slightly bigger and it sells better.
So the
And
press is just
one,
ignoring that they're coming out with studies that show that electric vehicles pollute far more than gasoline. They're just going to probably sweep that under the rug, right?
yeah, they are, because it doesn't it doesn't matter for what they're trying to do. And this one's actually a classic. This is a Mercedes 230 SL from the 1970s.
Yeah.
So this was good. This one had a hard top, which you had to store at home. So you better make sure that it's only going to be sunny that day. But this was cool. It made the SL a more usable car for everyday driving.
Do you collect Dinky or Corgi or any of those
No,
kind of?
I'd like to have more. I'd like to have more actual miniatures of actual racing cars.
Okay.
But I don't have that many. And if I go down that rabbit hole, it's going to be way expensive. But I'd like to have some, especially from Le Mans cars.
They're really expensive, huh?
They're not expensive, but you can't just buy one.
Oh, it's addictive.
Yeah. And a few friends of mine who are also into cars, because I met them when I was a sports writer. They said they stopped collecting when they noticed that the purchases they had made in the last 2 years were going inside the closet as soon as they got home, because they haven't built shelves for them, and they weren't planning on, because they had no place to put those shelves.
Oh yeah, that doesn't make sense.
These things take up space, because see, this hardly fits in your hand. Now imagine 4 of these, then imagine 10 of these.
But if you got some cool ones, you could put the Honda Civic in the closet without any guilty conscience.
I have about 20, and I really don't have much more place to put. These guys have over 200. Some have over 500. Now you see the problem. It's like the guys who collect toys. The toys take up a lot of space. Yeah. Miniature cars, even though they're called miniatures, they take up a lot of space. If you're a 143 collector, that's better. If you're a 124 collector, then see the miniature cars have their own words for things. Where 143 and 124 is the scale. 1 centimeter in the miniature is 43 centimeters in real life.
Moondust, I'll show the Munsters car next time I do a show that I film with my phone, because I can move around. StreamYard, I'm kind of limited to where I can move. 1 second, I'll bring in some flat cars.
New York, New York. I want to wake up in a city that believes and find out a number one.
These are some These were hand-me-downs from my older brothers. They're Aurora slot cars.
Mm-hmm.
One thing about StreamYard is it's pretty good at magnifying and focusing really close. So they're put a little drop of, I guess they call it oil or down there, and it. There's another one. Oh, this is I guess my older brothers put decals on them. I think you could get decal sets to decorate your cars. And then the top, well, the top comes off the car. Oh, and then what it looks like inside. These are the Aurora model motoring cars. There's a couple that are in their original boxes. These don't take up a lot of space. These cars, you could collect a lot of these. I don't know what they sell for now, but you know they're really tiny. And then they had a Batmobile that was in this scale, but oh, I have the Black Beauty from the Green Hornet, but I don't know where that is right now. I think that's downstairs on display with the Green Hornet stuff. Anyway, these just happen to be in the other room. Maybe I'll show those tonight.
Some of those Auroras, they don't look very realistic. The one you said you showed that it was a Porsche 906 did not look like a Porsche 906 at all.
Well, maybe I have the car in the wrong box? Is that actually supposed to be a Porsche?
The box said it was a Porsche 906, so the car didn't look like one. One of the cars that you were showing was a Cobra Daytona. You could tell it was supposed to be a Cobra Daytona, but some of the details looked a little bit wrong.
But I mean, is it possible? Because what do I know? It might be that's in the wrong box. That Porsche 906.
Could be.
Is that? Yeah. Does it look nothing like a Porsche 906?
That didn't look like a Porsche. It looked more like a more like a De Tomaso. But
okay, well then it's probably in the wrong box for all I know. I mean, I'm just the box.
John Goras was asking if I had motorcycles. I have one. This is a Honda VTR SP2. I don't know from what model year. It's kind of old.
Well, John Goras is asking about Speed Racer toys. They didn't make Speed Racer toys in the United States. I'm sure they had them in Japan, Makagogo. I mean, I guess they didn't start making them until the 90s for collectors. As far as I know, there were no Speed Racer toys when that was on television in the 60s and 70s, but I could be wrong. I think they would have sold if they had made them. But.
I don't know what year these are. There are Speed Racer toys, but I don't know which year they are. Is there?
I mean, there were definitely toys in Japan.
Mm-hmm. There's a car that there's a team that races in the Japanese Super GT Championship, and they paint their car as if it's the Mach 5.
Oh. this? A coverless Wild Bill Elliott comic. I guess that goes in the Dell. John Groth. I got one or two, but it was from the recent film marketing. Yeah, that movie was a pretty weird movie. That wasn't what I was expecting. I always thought Speed Racer would make a cool movie, but I didn't expect him to go that route.
They should have made a Turkish Speed Racer movie. That would, if they had made one, that would have been fun. Because the Turkish did crazy things with the when they had, yeah.
Here's a Captain America puppet that a hippie got a hold of. They put a goatee on him, and it says, and he's got I Captain Hippie, and he's got pot and upside down peace sign. I guess he's got LSD in his glove. So I guess it says something about the time period. Some guy was talking about Captain America comics don't sell now because people hate America, you know, or they just think he's like a Boy Scout, and maybe that's the approach that this hippie had getting a hold of this. So I don't know. That's the state of that puppet. I just got to clean all of this stuff off of the top of these boxes. This is a picture of my mother.
Oh.
Let me put this here. I'm going to put these in a, yeah, I'm going to put these with the family photos. This is probably her in college or high school. Here's a John Goris painting.
Yeah. Undead hippie stoners who were friends of Captain America hippie. Ooh, the Iron Sheik.
This is stuff that was in my father's wallet for decades. This must be, he must be one of those baseball players.
Was that college baseball?
Well, yeah, I think he had a baseball scholarship. Well, no, May 1956. I don't know that he would have still been in. Maybe. Oh, I think INF means infantry.
Oh.
This might be something he was doing while he was in the Army. I just don't know.
Yeah, come to think of it, those look more like government buildings than they do the university.
Could be, yeah. I don't know on that. Just stuff. I was making a folder of all the John Goris art I have, but this won't fit in the folder. Maybe I need to just frame that and get it on the wall. There's a passport. Who's this for? From May 10th, 1966 is the issue date. So this might be a passport when my dad was going to Vietnam. He looks like he should play the Punisher. Yeah, some family photographs. These need to be saved. So, okay, well, amazing. What is this? 18 best beloved bird paintings. I don't know where this came from. It's the wild turkey.
Cool.
Man, why? Where did this come from? I
I
must
used
have
to know
found
the
it.
names of different species of animal back when I was a kid. I had these books about nature, and they were cool. But then I kind of stopped paying attention to them, so now I don't remember.
Yeah, this isn't something that was owned by a family member, and I don't know how it came into my collection. There's the address. Someone in North Carolina is the one that received it. So maybe I bought a box of something at an estate sale, and this was in it, along with something that was more interesting. Could be. Um, oh, here's something I was looking for. Um, that's There's an advertising flyer for something weird from the over here. This is a handmade little placard they'd put above the movie poster in a movie theater. Um, and this is the mailing envelope that the Hulk record was sent out. Nobody loves the Hulk. There's a lot of important stuff. That's why I put it up there on top of the comic boxes, because I didn't want any animals messing with it. So I just move it from one place to another. This is these little elves that I remember from when we lived in Germany. Did these cartoon characters make it to where you're at? You
Nope.
ever heard of them?
No.
You can, I always remembered them. I had a little vinyl figure of that guy. I've had this since I was like 4. And I so if you type in these ridiculously long words, you can see
Yeah.
the cartoons on YouTube. These are little comic strips that don't have words that I guess are funny. But what they would do on Saturday nights, they would have a 2 or 3 hour block. It seems like that was just all American TV commercials, and they found those fascinating. And then they'd have little, I don't know, 5, 7 second little cartoons of these guys in between the commercials. And I guess this is my childhood writing. It looks like I wrote, and the rest of the book you color, and then I colored over my words. Anyway, this is something.
There's a modern version of those German elves in they're in the German TV channel's website.
Oh, really?
Yeah, zdf.de. Modernized. Mine. Here they are with cell phones.
Update Alvin and the Chipmunks, and they make them, with sagging pants and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, they kind of they even did the same with the Duck Nephews. Around 20 years ago, they were all dressed like they were California dudes.
The Chipmunks?
No, the Duck Nephews, Huey, Dewey, and Louie.
Oh, yeah. Oh, scheiße. Okay, I was a box. Where'd that go? There it is. I am. Is that episode uploaded yet? Let's see. What time is it there? Like 8 o'clock at night?
It's now 7. You guys are on daylight savings time already, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not yet. Only at the end of the month. So the show starts an hour earlier for me.
Oh, okay.
Good.
Well, that's good, I guess. I got these boxes I store things in, like the Sea Monkeys postcard. And just things that have to be saved go in these boxes. Usually they're these John Goris postcards that he sends. I put those in a special folder I have. This is some Japanese cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
Giant Robo.
Yeah. Giant Robo. Yeah, I think that was famous for a while.
This is top of a Rat Fink model kit box.
There were European anime back in the 70s and 80s. The animation was all done in Japan, but the production was paid for by German, French, Spanish, or Italian state TV. So they were broadcast mainly in Europe. And one of those was Anne of Green Gables.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of people seem to like the cartoon, although I found it a bit mushy. I liked a version of the Three Musketeers, and then there was the Three Musketeers with dogs. That one was Spanish.
Oh boy.
Yeah, and then there was a little black chick who still had the egg on top of his head called Calimero, and that came from Italy.
Uh-huh.
And he was always complaining that everything was an injustice. So even now in Portugal, when somebody complains that something's not fair, we say he's being a Calimero.
Oh man. Got so many of these cards in the mail for Nikki Haley, for I mean, this was, I have a giant stack of these cards. I saved every one of them for every candidate.
You know that Macron is trying to get Europe to get ready for war against Russia as quickly as possible. Then it doesn't matter if Trump's president.
Oh, well, so is he the head of the European Union?
No, Macron is the French president.
Yeah, I know, but I just didn't know who was in charge of it all.
Doesn't really matter. The European Union exists for financial purposes.
Yeah.
We can't. One of the reasons that that NATO exists is because we can't agree on who would be in charge of European armed forces.
Right.
And does anyone really want Germany to be in charge of that?
Well, it's a messed up situation.
The thing is,
Yeah.
even though the Polish are among the most fervent anti-European Union, they are the first ones who want to go to war with Russia. They want war. They want everybody to help them go to war with Russia because they're Poland. They're afraid that Russia will invade. They're
Yeah.
always afraid Russia will invade. So it's not a question of why should we go to war with Russia, right? America doesn't need to be involved, but in Europe, we really need to be on top of that possibility, even if we have to strike first.
Yeah. Well, what they're doing now is they're saying the president doesn't have the power to control the southern border, so millions of people are coming
Yeah,
across in the United States.
exactly.
But if we have this bill that's bipartisan, if you just vote for it, we'll put a little bit of money towards that and then send billions over the Ukraine. In other words, it's basically extortion. I won't do anything about the southern border, the problem I created, unless you send billions of dollars to the Ukraine so that Zelensky can buy more summer homes in Florida. And yeah, Macron's getting roasted a lot in the media here this last week. People saying that his wife is a man.
No, he's not. She's no. His wife was his school teacher back in high school.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
you know
still
she's a
creepy,
woman.
man.
It's Macron's new prime minister, who is very fabulous.
Well, so yeah. So
We
yeah, I
had
don't know.
elections. We had elections here on Sunday, but we're getting ready to not be able to form a stable government. There's a third party who messed up the whole maths in terms of seat distribution.
Let's see what people are saying here. Hold on, I missed a lot of comments. John Gore says I got one or two, but it's in the recent film marketing. Oh, from Speed Race. That's
Speed
right.
Racer,
Joe
yeah.
Rogan did that. I don't know. Captain America was a stoner. The German elves remind me of the little kids on the ice cream trucks. And Hey Girls says lead paint. And Candace Owens was saying Macron's old lady, and I do mean old lady isn't really a lady, if you know what I mean. Yes, she
No,
was. Just one of the main ones.
she's really a lady. It's Macron's prime minister who's very much into sailors.
Yeah. Well, you know, I mean, how do you know she's really a lady? How do you really know?
She looks like a woman. I don't get where that one comes from.
Well, I don't know. Who knows what's going to happen?
I'm not sure. I hope food prices go down. I mean, we have good weather. We've been having good weather for crops this year, because last year we had a major drought, and olive oil in particular went through the roof, and because now it's all going to export, and it's 5 times more expensive than it should be. At least some of our fish stock is back, but there's going to be there's some water controls in some places in southern Europe.
Yeah.
And that was related to all of the farmer protests.
Yeah. Well, you just got to look at who's making money. off of our suffering, and then you can figure out what the real story is. I think the whole Ukraine thing could have been solved a long time ago, but they didn't want to solve it.
How?
I think, seems to me that well, historically, the part of Ukraine, I mean, it's that was Russia. You know, these people that live there want to be part of Russia.
Yeah.
And
no, it's like this. Ukraine was always a part of Russia, but Ukrainians were not Russians. It's a bit like if Appalachians wanted to be independent instead of American, but they were never independent.
Yeah,
because that's what Ukrainians are. Ukrainians are the term Ukrainian kind of means border people. So they were sort of border patrol against invasions from the West. In case somebody came in, the Russians would send the Ukrainians. The fact is the Ukrainians were Rus, but the Russians were not Rus. The Russians were Ros. That's why Russia is Russia in Russian. But when the Russians want to tell everybody that the Ukrainian term for themselves, which was Rus, is derived from Russia, which is not.
yeah.
Also, that's the reason why they're better. The Ukrainians are better fighters, because the Kievan Rus were Vikings.
Yeah.
So they were already invaders. The Russians were Muscovites, and what was the name of their? They had their own their own county, duchy. They had their own duchy.
Well, I don't think that either side is telling us the truth about what's really happening, and of course, we're not really allowed to hear the other side.
Right. It's not about sides, because from the European perspective, we don't really care what the Ukrainians want either. We don't care what the Ukrainians want and what the Russians want. What we want is cheaper fuel. The Ukrainians have to give us cheaper fuel, and they right now if the Russians got Ukraine, fuel would be more expensive for everybody, because they would cut production. As long as the Ukraine is there, they would produce the fuel that we need.
Well, if Trump
even though we were getting fuel from Russia as well.
If we were drilling here, then it would be a moot point, because we would be. It's just because Trump went away and they stopped drilling here that all this became an issue. I mean, it's
right, but we have nowhere to drill. We don't have oil in the European Union. It's Norway who has the oil.
Yeah,
Norway's not part of the European. Norway's not part of the European Union.
A bunch of people here have been laundering money over there, and have been doing and you know, doing all kinds of horrible things. Putin was provoked into this.
No, all of Putin's money Putin was laundering money in the European Union.
Well,
especially
everyone's
in Cyprus.
Making money somehow, but putting up plants that manufacture things that make people get sick. I have to say it all along the border of Ukraine with Russia, and then which has been admitted to.
Those were already there. They've always been there. They were not built by the United States. They were there in the 60s. They're Soviet.
But when they start making things there that only affect people of Russian descent, then
that's not true, because it's not happening.
Well, how do you know that's not happening?
You can't do things that only affect people of Russian descent. That's not how genetics and heredity work.
Well, you can be told a lot of things. I mean, you can affect them.
You can do localized stuff, but it affects everyone who lives in that area.
Yeah.
But you can't do stuff that Russians fall down wherever they are on the planet. That's stupid. I don't know who came up with that, but anyone who knows how genetics work knows that that can't work because it would affect people that you're not expecting, and save people that you were expecting to die. Like
Yeah.
if you do something that affects the Welsh, Belgians will die.
Yeah. There's just no way of knowing what's really going on. Well, I need to clean here more often. I'm just glad I'm not draft age, but
yeah. Well, I'm technically still draft age because I'm under 60.
No.
But I would not go on the front lines. I'm 44, overweight.
You're not overweight.
I am overweight. I weigh 215 pounds.
250 pounds?
215 pounds.
Oh.
That's overweight. I should weigh 170.
Okay. Well.
Well, in practical terms, that's really not possible. But 180, 185, I could shoot for that. But the thing is, I like pork too much.
You like pork?
Oh yeah. If somebody gave me a choice, eat beef for the rest of your life and no pork, and eat pork for the rest of your life and no beef, I would go with pork and no beef every day.
Oh.
And I do like beef, but pork is you can do anything with pork and not with beef. For example, I find the notion of beef sausages laughable.
Yeah.
Sausages are pork with pig lard. Then you had more pork and more pig lard.
I found another one. This is a door hanger, so it doesn't have an address on it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is old. This is from the last election. I got this in Texas.
Mm-hmm. Who do you think is going to be the Trump's running mate?
Man, I don't know. They're talking RFK Jr.'s going to have possibly some football player as his running mate.
That would surprise a lot of people, and it's very out of the left field.
Some football player that agrees with him on the one issue that basically the one issue that we can't talk about that RFK is most known for. He's a pro football player. I don't know his name.
But I don't think that's a reason to choose RFK Jr. as your running mate if you're Donald Trump.
Oh no, I'm not. No, I didn't say that. And RFK Jr. is running as a third-party candidate. He's chosen. He's apparently about to choose possibly a football player, next football player as his running mate. As far as Trump, I'm not really sure. There's several candidates. I think Ramaswamy is good. I thought Carrie Lake, but then some people are saying that maybe she's not. But I think she's good. And he's got more than a few that are actually interesting people. But I think Ramaswamy is fascinating to hear him talk. He's really sharp. Sean Gore says, "Are there any Ukrainians left there at this point?"
Yes, there are plenty of Ukrainians, but they're ladies. So if you're looking for singles in your area, move to the Ukraine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jay Leno is a running mate.
Oh, Jay Leno. I wasn't even thinking. I don't know who he'll choose.
Well, Jay Leno could run for president of the AAA.
Yeah.
Oh, another famous guy who's involved in auto racing, David Letterman.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he co-owns an IndyCar team for the Indianapolis 500.
Really, I had no idea.
Yeah, it's RLL Racing, so it's former IndyCar champion Bobby Rahal, Letterman, and the owner of the MyJack stores, Mike Lanigan.
Huh.
MyJack engine cranes. Yeah, cranes. That is MyJack product. Yeah. I thought it was stores. No, they're industrial equipment.
Oh boy. Yeah, I have no idea what I'm going to show tonight on the show.
Since you mentioned Diabolic, probably, yeah, these covers have good size.
What's that?
So since you mentioned the Diabolic and the Criminal and Satanic, I'm probably gonna go show some of these Italian covers. They have good size. They can appear on the screen. Diabolic, yeah, from the 60s.
What about foreign editions of Tarzan? Is Graphic Man's on an Edgar Rice Burroughs kick. I saw on Instagram. Last week he only had about 4 of those book covers. Now he's got like about this many books done. So he's been going ape with that. I bet he'd really love if you had some Tarzan comics from other countries.
I'm gonna see if I may have to look for them because they did. Most of the Tarzan stories who appeared in other countries are the newspaper strip. So they would usually appear in magazines that reprinted newspaper strips. They have their own title, so I can just look for Tarzan.
Oh, okay. Let me see what I'm gonna do.
Well, there's a new guy here.
The guy's name is Aaron Rodgers. Is the guy that supposedly RFK is thinking about.
Oh. There's a guy here in the chat asking about the new EC Comics.
Okay. Greetings from Spain. Do you know anything about new issues from EC Comics, horror and science themes? Thank you. Yeah, I know that they're doing it, but I don't know much about the artists or the writers doing it. Right here. A button somewhere. Oh, here. This is going to be their new logo. It's a button that was sent to me by Charlton66. But I don't know. Van Gore's Criminal had great covers, and the inside black and white work was so crisp and clean, beautiful stuff. Yeah, I don't know what it'll be like. There's no way of knowing. I just off the bat, I kind of don't think it'll be good, but I mean, it's always possible. I mean, I guess it's possible. I just typed in foreign Tarzan comic books and getting things like that. Looks like Tapzan.
Yeah.
Mostly what I'm seeing are American ones. Let's see
Yeah.
what this is. This is a British one. It doesn't even look like he's on the cover.
Right.
Maybe if I could think of a particular country to look for instead of just putting foreign. A lot of these seem to be gold key reprints. What is that?
It's Canadian.
Ooh, this is an interesting one. This is apparently a poster from where? Let's see. A poster. La Pausa del Tiempo. Is that Spanish?
Looks like it. Let me see.
The poster.
No, that's Italian.
Italian?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what that means. What's it del Tempo? Tempo?
It's a Russ Manning drawing. Probably a lot of the stuff is just going to be American art with
with
writing from another country on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's some here. What is this? It looks like it's Italian.
Oh, it'd be helpful if I spelled foreign right. That's probably, it's not my fault. It's the phone. The keys are weird. I know that's probably offensive to type in foreign.
Well, it's what you probably look for. It's just not going to. You think it's what you're looking for, but it's not going to give you the answers exactly as you need. It's better if you look, type Tarzan and the specific country you're looking for.
Yeah, but
because
what country has the funniest covers? Where do I need to look for? Who's going to botch it the most? Because see, that's what I'm looking for.
Vietnam, probably.
Vietnamese. Oh, okay. Vietnamese.
Yeah.
Vietnamese Tarzan comic books. I wonder how many people have typed that into the internet before. Oh, I'm getting our American ones. Wait, what is that? Oh, this must be British because they spell color with a U. Special Super Adventures number. I guess I should give myself full screen.
It's most likely that thing's Australian.
Oh, okay.
Let me see. No, it's British because it's got the pricing pence. If it was Australian, it'd have the price in dollars. But the Australians had a lot of the old stuff that they did.
Yeah. Okay,
Sage
now,
Edition has a bunch of Tarzan series in France, but they're all Dell covers, or at least they're remade Dell covers.
yeah.
Because sometimes they just hire the artist to trace over the original, and then they had an invoice that they could claim that they hired a local artist.
I typed in India from this is Tarzan's son.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Ooh, I found a nice criminal cover here that I'm going to show it. Then everybody's going to say it's copying Ghost Rider, and then I'm going to explain why it's not.
Oh,
Because
is
it's
it
from October 1970. It predates Ghost Rider by 2 years.
Is it a flaming skull?
No, but it almost looks like it. But since Criminal's jumpsuit is a bit similar to Johnny Blaze's, and the bike even has the same design.
Yeah, they had
might...
flaming skull decals in the 60s before the comic book character that you could put on your bikes and things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm show some of these. Yeah, John Marvel did do an adaptation of the Legend of Greystoke.
Look at this. I typed in Indian superhero comics. This is weird stuff.
But these are modern.
Yeah, it's just still funny to see their interpretation. But hold on.
Phantom had different comics in India, the stuff that they made.
Or the real bloody ones. Those are cool too. This is a good one. Yes. You need to have an episode where you show this kind of stuff.
Yeah, but I really don't know what to look for because I'm not familiar.
I just typed in Indian comic books or Indian superhero comic books.
Yeah.
Or actually, I put in old that time.
Some stuff here that looks like it's like manga. The problem is getting decent covers because they have to show up on the stream. Of course, some of these with covers in Sanskrit. They look interesting. I have no idea. Okay, it's called Bilu. What is this?
Let's see what people are talking about. Oh, Meyer's watching. He says, "Hey, everyone." Eric Green, Chris Condon is writing for them. Oh, for EC, he did my favorite series of the last year and learned from Ed Brubaker. I'm actually optimistic about it now. Okay, for EC, he's talking about the new EC. Okay, it seems like I remember Eric saying something about that last week on Four Color Fossils. So, okay, so it's got good writing. Now we need to make sure it has good art. Did Marvel do a comic adaptation of that Greystoke film from back in the day?
They did. They did a Marvel Comics Super Special, and
John, yes, there was a
the
mini.
The mini reprinted. Yeah, the mini reprinted the Super Special in a standard format.
So I don't know when the new EC comics are due out. I'm sure it's at least a few months.
Okay. Okay. I gotta go because I gotta go take care of dinner.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. See you later.
Take care. What I am interested in, the first of the Gold Key comics was also recently revived, and they did a Boris Karloff that was very badly botched. But there's this artist, I can't remember his name, that's doing a second title from the new Gold Key, and he's doing a Harvey style comic. Or I guess it could have been a Gold Key kind of comic, but it's an original character about like a ghost dog. Yeah, let's see if I can't pull that up. It's like Pinky Pinkelstein Spirit Guide Dog or something. I don't know. Let's see if I can't conjure that up. Oh, it's Higgy Furthermore. Figgy Furthermore, the Spirit Guide Dog. What the heck? It's being done by the artist that did Dwellings, Jay Stevens, who looks like an interesting artist. So they actually look like real old comics, and it's some Dennis the Menace type kid that's constantly destroying things. That's, I guess, become dangerous because he lost his dog, but the dog is really still with him as a ghost, and it's kind of guiding him to make sure he doesn't do anything too horribly destructive, I think, is the idea behind it. And it, the interior art looks like something from the past. So this could be, and it's not being done like when he did Dwellings. That was more of an adult, gory thing, but these are being done for all ages. I guess you get multiple covers, and they all look good. They all have that Gold Key Harvey feel. So this could actually be something worthwhile coming out. I mean, I'll pick this comic up. Let's see what people are saying. Pausa equals swamp. Did Marvel? Oh, yeah, we already read that. Oh, Gotham City is here. Kevin, if you want to come on for a few minutes and show the new comics for the week, you're welcome to. I really liked Infield Gang from Chris Condon, so I'll need to keep an eye out. Thanks for the heads up, Breen. And here's the link if you want to come on. Kevin from Gotham City Comics in Mesa, Arizona, because there's a new a couple of comics that came out that actually looked interesting to me. Because if you go to Gotham City Comics on YouTube, you can see his. He shows all the new comics coming out, not just this week, but he'll give you, as soon as he gets the books in, he shows you the books that are coming out, next week. So it's yeah, they did a facsimile of a Treasury edition, one from the late '70s that reprinted the Raj Al Ghul storyline, Neil Adams, Denny O'Neil, and it's the only thing new about it in the late '70s was the wraparound cover. So it's really a reprint of a reprint, but it's a new Treasury edition. Treasury edition is what Marvel called them, but I call them all that. But I think DC called them limited collector's editions, and it sells for $14.95, which I guess would be the equivalent of what it sounds like a lot, but I think that for a Treasury edition today, that's probably an actual fair price when you think that going to Taco Bell costs $20 for one person. We live in a town with the only chain restaurant we have is Subway. So there's a local place in the town square that makes like yesterday they made bootleg Chick-fil-A sandwiches, which were better than Chick-fil-A sandwiches. They back engineered the sauce that they put on and everything. And waffle fries, and they back engineered Big Macs. Sometimes one day we're serving Big Macs, and they'll taste better than the Big Mac at the real McDonald's. They figured it out. It's what you have to do. You have to be resourceful. See, I'm uploading a show that I filmed this afternoon. I'm at 27%. It's moving really slow. I think I better go see what's going on with my wife. So she might need me. Yeah. But let's see. Lead Paint says, I picked up the new Ghost Rider title today in the second issue of Beware the Planet of the Apes. What is Beware the Planet of the Apes? Is that a Marvel title? The new Ghost Rider. I don't know what that is either. Kevin, if you're free and want to click the link, I would like to see what those are. I didn't see them, I don't think, maybe you didn't order them. We don't even have a Taco Casa here. I still have a cup from when I lived in Texas because I keep everything. Man. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay. It's a Marvel title that's a prequel to Planet of the Apes. Follows Nova mostly pretty good. Okay, so it takes place right before the Charlton Heston Planet of the Apes, huh? Interesting. Yeah. I really need to work on this, but I'm losing. Damn, that's weird. So, Monsters Viewmaster reel here. That's strange. Well, I'll look into that Planet of the Apes comic and everything, and I'm starving. So I have to go get on out. Okay. All right. I guess I'll see you guys tonight at 7 o'clock Central on the Graphic Man channel.